Hello, and welcome to the Life Organized with Lisa podcast. I'm Lisa Seeley, and organizing is my superpower. I'm a busy mom who has figured out how to do all the things and keep important things from falling through the cracks. And I'm here to give you tips, tricks, and practical advice about how to organize your entire life. You can find my website at www.lisaseeley.com. That's LISASEALEY.com. Today, I want to talk about organizational skills for unorganized people. I am, by nature, an organized person. My mom used to tease me because I organized my toys when I was little. It was automatic to me, and it took me a long time to realize that most people are not programmed that way. If organizing is hard for you, or the thought of it stresses you out, here are some tips to help. Have a place for everything. This is especially important for the items that you use every day. For example, put your keys in a bowl on the table near the door or on a hook near the door. Put your purse, briefcase, or backpack in the same spot every time you put it down. Having a place for everything not only keeps you organized, it saves you time because you always know where things are and don't waste time searching for them. Make lists. Lists can be your best friend if you're trying to get or stay organized. When you write everything down, it helps you to visualize what needs to be done. Start with one list. You can call it your today list. Write down everything you need to do today. If your list is long, prioritize the top 3 things that absolutely must get done and do those first. Then move on to the rest of the list. Once you become comfortable with your today list, you can add other lists, such as a list for your long-term goals that has the tasks you need to do to reach your monthly or yearly goals. Start small. Look, let's be real. Getting organized is a huge undertaking, especially if you've never done it before. Don't try to do everything at once. You'll get frustrated and burn out. For example, if you're trying to organize your home, start with one room, such as the kitchen. If the thought of the kitchen is too overwhelming, start with one part of the kitchen, such as the cabinets. If that's too overwhelming, start with one drawer. Break it down into whatever size works for you. You'll still get it all done. It's not a race. Find a system that works for you and stick with it. The thing about organizing is that there really isn't one set way to do it. Everyone has things that make sense to them. Find what works for you and do it consistently. For example, if you are going to organize your bookshelf, you could put the books in order by author, or by subject, or by author and subject. It really doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as you do the same thing on each bookshelf. Consistency is one key to staying organized. Get rid of clutter. I know this sounds basic, but you'll be amazed what a difference a small amount of decluttering can make. And I'm not just talking about the pile of mail on your kitchen island or counter, or the pile of clothes you can't fit into that's hanging on your treadmill. That's the obvious stuff. Think about other things that are taking up space that you could use for other things. For example, if you have boxes in your garage that you haven't looked in since you moved into your house 5 years ago, it's probably time to go through them to see if you really need what's in them. Or what about those boxes of things you cleared out of your parents' house after they passed away? It might be time to decide whether you really want to keep those items or if you were just holding on to them because you weren't ready to let them go at that time. Whatever it is you're sorting through, if you haven't used or needed the items in a few years, consider selling them or donating them. And also remember that your first instincts are often correct. If you have an item and your first thought is to get rid of it, do that. Otherwise, you could wind up keeping something for several more years that you don't use. Likewise, if your first instinct is to keep it for whatever reason, do that. You can always repeat the decluttering process again in the future. Sort your mail. Earlier, I mentioned the pile of mail in your kitchen. Do you know how I know you have one? Because almost everyone does. You get the mail on your way into the house and immediately drop it in the most convenient place so you can deal with it later. Here's how to get rid of the pile and keep your important things organized. First, remember, all mail that comes into your home can be put into one of 3 categories: junk mail, bills, and other correspondence. As soon as you come in the house, flip through the mail and discard any junk mail. You can recycle it or put it in the trash, or if you shred items with your name and address, put it in a basket or box near your shredder. Then, separate any bills from other correspondence. Put the bills where you normally pay your bills, and put the other items you need to handle where you normally do that. That way, everything is in its place when you're ready to pay the bills or take care of the other paperwork, and you won't have a mail pile in the kitchen. Don't get overwhelmed. This can happen so easily, but it can also be easily avoided. As my grandma used to say, don't bite off more than you can chew. If you've been unorganized for most or even all of your life, you can't expect to become an organizing expert in a few days. It takes time and patience. If you start out doing small things, such as organizing your mail and decluttering, you will make progress. And if you start to feel overwhelmed, there's no rule that says you can't take a break for as long as you need it. Like I said before, it's not a race. You can do this. And if you need help getting started, check out my 30-day Home Organization and Declutter Challenge. You can find it at lisaseely.com/declutter. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening. Until next time.